Hi, everybody. Welcome again to another installment of Madison Books Tuesday Morning Storytime. Uh, let's get right into it. First book we're going to read today is one that maybe even your parents remember, by Janet and Alan Alberg, called Each Peach, Pear, Plum. And there are great illustrations in here with details to search for. Each peach, pear, plum, I spy Tom Thumb. See him up there in the tree? Tom Thumb in the cupboard, I spy Mother Hubbard. See her polka dot dress? Mother Hubbard down the cellar, I spy Cinderella. Cinderella on the stairs, I spy the three bears. There they are through the window. Three bears out hunting, I spy Baby Bunting. Baby Bunting fast asleep, I spy Bo Peep. Bo Peep up the hill, I spy Jack and Jill. Jack and Jill in the ditch, I spy the Wicked Witch. Wicked Witch over the wood, I spy Robin Hood. Way in the back. Robin Hood in his den, I spy the bears again. Three bears still hunting, they spy Baby Bunting. Good thing, too. Baby Bunting safe and dry, I spy Plum Pie. Plum pie in the sun, I spy everyone. Yum. Okay, let's try another one. This is by Bridget Hios with illustrations by Joy Ang, and it's called Mustache Baby. I have a personal fondness for this one. When baby Billy was born, his family noticed something odd. He had a mustache. What does this mean? His mother asked. Well, it depends, the nurse said. You'll have to wait and see whether it's a good guy mustache or a bad guy mustache. At first, it was plain to see that Billy's mustache was noble and just. He tamed a bucking bronco and became a cowboy. He always protected his cattle, cared for injured animals, and mended broken fences. After setting things right on the range, Billy rode off to become a ringleader, a Spanish painter, a sword fighter, and finally, a man of the law, for his neighborhood desperately needed him. With his cop badge, Billy was one tough hombre. He stopped speeders. Yeah, they look out of control. Outlawed poker. Oh, dear. And caught thieves red-handed. Get your hands out of that cookie jar. Everyone loved having Officer Billy around. Or did they? But a funny thing happened as Billy got bigger. His mustache grew and curled up at the ends. His parents' worst fears were realized. Billy had a bad guy mustache. Billy's disreputable mustache led him into a life of dreadful crime. He became a cat burglar, a serial criminal. It's a good pun. And a train robber so heartless that he even stole the tracks. Oh no. But when he planned the biggest heist of all, a bank robbery, his getaway car wasn't fast enough. He got caught and thrown in jail. Jail is no place for a baby, even a baby with a mustache. Billy tried to be strong, but he did shed a few tears. After ages and ages, Billy regretted his treacherous thievery. He wished that his evil mustache would go away. At last, his mother busted him out of jail. There, there, she said, everybody has a bad mustache day now and then. Let's dry your tears, his father said. The new neighbors have a baby your age. He's coming over to play. Ding dong. Who could it be? That's a good one too. Okay, one more from Tommy DePaula. It's called The Mysterious Giant of Barletta. In the town of Barletta, in front of the church of San Sepolcro, stood a huge statue. No one knew where it had come from or when. The mysterious giant, for that is what the people called the statue, had always been there, as long as anyone could remember. Even Zia Concetta. Zia Concetta was the oldest one in all of Barletta. She lived right across the square from the giant statue. Every day, every night, for my whole lifetime, I've looked out the window, and there he is, she would say. Good weather and bad, the mysterious giant stood there. The people of Barletta loved having the statue in their town. In the early morning, right before the sun came up, the sisters from the convent and other town people came to the church for Holy Mass. They always greeted the giant with a nod or a smile. The people on the way to market always hailed the giant and asked that he give them good luck to sell all their goods or get a good bargain. All day long, the children played around his legs and the doves flew around his head. The young boys would sit on his big feet and tell jokes. A little later, the older boys would sit on the giant's feet to watch the older girls walk by. And at night, lovers would steal kisses in the giant's shadow. Then the streets would be empty. Doves would settle on the giant's head and shoulders and arms and coo themselves to sleep. And Zia Concetta would open her window and call, "Buonanotte, Colosso." Good night, big one. This was the time the giant loved best. All was calm, all was still. Ah, what a peaceful life, the mysterious giant thought. But one day, this peaceful life was over. Word had reached the town that an army of 1,000 men was destroying all the towns and cities along the lower Adriatic coast. And this army was heading straight for Barletta. The townspeople ran through the streets in panic. No one in Barletta was ready for an army coming to destroy them. They had no generals, no captains. Why, they didn't even have any soldiers. Shouts and screams echoed off the buildings. The night was lit by torches. All the peace and quiet was gone. No doves came to settle on the mysterious giant's shoulders, and Zia Concetta didn't call "Buonanotte" from her window. The mysterious giant didn't like this at all. The next morning was no better. It seemed as though everyone was at the church for Holy Mass, but there was no market. No one even smiled, let alone waved at the mysterious giant. No children played. Everyone rushed around, piling their belongings in carts and wagons. Everyone was getting ready to run from Barletta. Everyone except Zia Concetta and the mysterious giant. "Colosso," she said to the huge statue, "as long as I can remember, you have stood here looking over this town and its people. Barletta loves you, and I know you love Barletta. I wish you could do something to save us from this army. With your size, I'm sure you could frighten them away. Why don't you hop down from your pedestal?" And that's just what the mysterious giant did. "Now," said Zia Concetta. They put their heads together and came up with an idea. "And a good one, too," said Zia Concetta. The mysterious giant climbed back and stood still. "People of Barletta," Zia Concetta called, "come quickly. Great news. Un miracolo. A miracle. Our giant is going to save us. Come." The people of Barletta gathered around. "Friends," Zia Concetta said, "our giant will go to meet this army himself. All you have to do is 3 things. First, bring me the biggest onion you can find." Second, stay completely out of sight. Hide under the bed, hide in the closet, hide in the cellar, hide in the attic, but stay out of sight. And third, don't ask any questions. Have faith in our mysterious giant. Someone quickly brought an onion. Now hide, shouted Zia Conchetta, and everyone scurried off. Well, Colosso, said Zia Conchetta as she sliced the onion in half. Buona fortuna. The mysterious giant took an onion half in each hand, once more stepped off the pedestal, and strode off to meet the army. 3 miles outside the city, the mysterious giant sat down by the side of the road and held the onion pieces close to his eyes. Big tears began to run down his cheeks. The giant made loud, sobbing noises. What a sight the army saw as it came over the hill. "Halt!" shouted the captain. The army halted. "What is that?" the captain whispered to one of his lieutenants. "Looks like a giant boy crying," answered the lieutenant. "Well, we'll see about this," said the captain, marching off to where the mysterious giant sat. "I am Captain Minkion," the captain declared. "We have come to destroy this town. Who are you, and what are you doing here crying? No tricks now. Answer me." "Oh, sir," said the giant, sobbing, "I'm sitting out here away from the town because the other boys in school won't let me play with them. They say I'm too small. They pick on me all the time. They call me names like minuscolo and debole, tiny and weakling. I'm always the last one chosen for games. Today they told me that if I tried to go to school, they would beat me up. I hate being so small." The giant sniffled loudly and blew the hats off the soldiers standing in front. The captain and the army stood dumbstruck. If this giant was a small boy that the others teased, then imagine what the rest of the people of this town were like. "But someday, sir," the giant bellowed, "someday I'll show them. I'm going to eat up all my pasta and I'll grow big and strong, and then I'll be able to fight back." The soldiers began to back away, trembling. The lieutenants gathered around the captain, who had backed away from the giant too. There was only one thing to do. Captain Minkion and his lieutenants drew their swords. They held them in the air and shouted, "About face! Double time! March!" The army turned and fairly ran in the opposite direction of Barletta. The mysterious giant threw away the onion halves, dried his tears, and went back to the church of San Sepolcro. "They're gone!" shouted Zia Conchetta to the townspeople as the giant climbed back on his pedestal once more. "The army is gone. You can come out now. The town has been saved. Our giant did it. Che bella festa!" What a celebration was held that night. But when it was over, and the moon was high in the sky, the mysterious giant looked out over the sleeping town. Doves cooed themselves to sleep on his head and his shoulders. Everything was calm. Everything was still. Zia Conchetta opened her window. "Buonanotte, Colosso," she called, and grazie. You ever seen a statue wink like that? That's a good ending. Thank you all for coming, and I hope we see you again next week. Bye.